Remember I said my next video was going to be 250 miles? Well, this isn't it. I'll be doing that with Paul next week. This is just one of those occasions where I looked out the window and just thought, you know what, weather doesn't look too bad, I'll just jump on the bike and go do some lanes I've not ridden since I was a teenager in some cases. This is the A56. When I worked in Chester, I used to take this road to work every single day and come home this way, in the opposite direction of course. It's a cracking little road, nothing in it that's too difficult. There's lots of nice sweepy bends. Along here there is a pub on the right hand side, Thornton Arms I think it might be called. In my day, as an elderly teenager, just old enough to go into a pub, it used to be a fun pub, crowded as hell. You had to fight like mad to get to the bar, it was always busy. But it was a bit of a ways from home, so it wasn't a place I visited very often. I remember they used to have a transvestite DJ, and my mate was a bit transfixed by it. These days it's a Chinese restaurant. Along here there's a cafe on the left hand side. Cafe Fresh I think it's called. I've not been in it, but I keep looking at the menu and I keep thinking, you know what, that wouldn't be a bad place to go into for a breakfast one day. So I think maybe I'm going to go there one day. Sometime soon, I would think. What I like about this particular spot is that there's a nice long sweeping right hand bend over the top of, I think it's around the line, and then you've got a bit of a left hander quite quickly on. A little bit further down here, I'll be going past the Shrewsbury Arms. That's always been a nice pub. Just after it, there's a fly fishing place I used to go to. It's still on the map, but whenever I've ridden past it, it doesn't appear to be open. So I'm going to have a close look today. Oh yeah, look at that. There it is, just there. And it's got a big sign saying don't enter. I think it might have closed down. I used to enjoy fly fishing there. A long time ago, to be fair, probably more like about 20 years or so since I've last been there. What I'm going to be looking for next is Trafford. That's where I do a bit of a right turn and start heading down the lanes. I'll be going through a little bit of a housing estate sort of thing. It's not unusual for me to do that, but this time I'm doing it deliberately. I'm not being led astray by a sat-nav. Once I'm there, it's a right turn and I'll be on the lanes that I used to ride, as I say, when I was a teenager. Used to love blatting up and down on my Honda C90, and when I got it, my Honda CD175. This particular stretch of road, it's got some really nice bends, as you can sort of see. You can accelerate out of a brake for the next one. But they just seem to follow one after the other. It's a really enjoyable ride. There is one section. It's I think it might be a dairy farm. And when I used to ride here, you drop down a hill, a little bit of a left turn, and then start to climb out with a little bit of a right turn. And as you start to climb out, cow pats all over the road, and if it's been raining, it's a bit slippy. I'm not really sure it's going to be like it. It has been raining a lot lately, but these roads seem fairly dry here, so it might be a lot better than it used to be. Oh yeah, look at this. No cow pants at all. And there's some new buildings here, so I think they've maybe changed its purpose. It's alright, right by me. On top of this hill, it'll be a tight right-hand bend, 90 degrees, and you get a good look out over the refinery. From there, I'm on my way down to Bunbury. And again, these lanes and these bends are pretty good, really, for a country lane. You can hurl the bike around a little bit, and it's a lot of accelerating and braking. I'm going to be going over the motorway, then I'll go over the canal, and then I'll come into a little village called Bunbury. Here we go, here's the canal. I used to fish here. I used to cycle out and just fish in there's like a turning point for the canal boats. I used to fish in there. Oh, flipping heck, will you look at that? They've closed the road. To be fair, I was hoping to go straight on down it. There's a long sweeping left-hand bend, followed by a nice long sweeping right-hand bend. And you come out near Cheshire Oaks, but it doesn't look as I'm going to be doing that today. But the thing is, I can't remember which of these lanes will get me now over to the next lane. There's another one that comes out near Cheshire Oaks, but it goes past Chester Zoo. So I'll turn around here and I'll just take the lane a little ways up the road and see where that leads. I know the lane, I just can't remember where it leads. Funny bit of a funny story here. When I was a lad and I got a Honda CB550 F1, I come for a bit of a ride out. It's one of those occasions where I've started to experiment a little bit, get a little bit of adventurous and just bugger off out to the countryside on the bike by myself. And I found myself here. I'd stopped the bike for some reason, I can't remember the reason why. But when I come to restart it, it wouldn't have it. And it was dark. I tried everything, didn't I? I even tried the Kickstarter. No, got nowhere. And then I noticed that the engine kill switch, I toggled it and pressed the button and the bike started up, no trouble. Yeah, funny now, weren't so bloody funny then. Now this lane, I think it joins up somewhere after Chester Zoo, and it puts me onto another lane that will bring me down to Cheshire Oaks. I'm not sure, but it's a nice lane anyway. I remember it being a nice lane. It's got lots of decent bends on it. Nothing hairpinny or anything like that, but all nice sweeping bends. I'm just looking at this turn here. I'm just going to see where it goes. Doesn't seem to be going where I want it to go, so I'm just going to carry on around the corner. Well, I should have turned right at that bend. I know exactly where I am now. This is on the outskirts of Chester, and I could turn around and go back. Turn left onto that lane. I will go past Chester Zoo. And I'll end up eventually on the road I'm looking for. There you go, there's Chester Zoo. There's that building there with a bit of a dome on it. I don't actually know what they keep in there. It's a bit of a bumpy ride down this hill. Used to be great on a push bike when I was a lad. A bit bumpy on a motorbike, and it's as bumpy today as it always was. Now as I go over this bridge, the canal goes under it. This is another spot I used to come fishing. out of the way, nobody bothered me. I'm going to turn left next and start to climb this hill. It is a bit bumpy up here today. I don't remember it being as bumpy as this when I was a lad. But there's this little cottagey thing up here, this white one. I can see over the hedge, you can't, but over the hedge there's a pond. As a lad, it would have been nice to have fished in there, but it's right outside the owner's front door. So we looked at it a little bit enviously and then cycled on past and never actually fished it. When I get to the top of the hill, I'll do a right turn. Oh, bloody hell. Yeah, the road's going to close, but it's not going to close today, so I'm alright. I can carry on the way I wanted to go. Done a bit of building work around this house. This used to be a single house all on its own, but it looks like they've built some little lodgy type things in the grounds there and sorted up the grass outside. Yeah. There's the fishing place. It used to be a trout fishery. It's now a carp fishery, it says on the gate. And I seem to remember it's a bit of a retreat. They've got some yurts, 2 or 3 of them I think, and you can do the fishing in the lake as well. I haven't seen any prices for fishing in it. It just says it's got some big carp in it. I would have preferred it to have been a fly fishing place. I've got no objections to catching carp, don't get me wrong. And I haven't got a fly rod anymore either. But I did used to like a little bit of fly fishing, ducking it quite a lot to avoid getting the fly stuck in my eye. I'm going to pull up a few photographs, break holes just a little ways down the road, but I don't want to get stuck in that. So I'm just going to pull up behind this hedge so nobody in the house can see there's this strange man outside their front door, and get a few pictures, and then I'll be away again. So yeah, my next ride will be 250 miles and it'll be with Paul.